everybody. Welcome back to the 3W podcast, home of the Who, What, Where, Northwest Arkansas. I have my dear friend, Kara Richardson, here with me today. Hey, Kara.
Thank you for having me.
Kara is with Premier Dermatology, I would say in Bentonville, but Bentonville, Bella Vista, Fayetteville, all the places. So she's here with me. And I'm going to put her on the spot really quickly. So just go with me on this one. Kara, how'd we meet?
I can't really say
I know, just kidding. Kara can't tell you how we met because it's HIPAA, and I didn't even think about that because I had like these list of questions to try and be overly prepared. And she was like, I can't talk about that. And I was like, oh, well, why? Oh, well, because of HIPAA. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. So that leads me to say everything is super, super safe at Premier Dermatology. Like, they know everybody in town. They know all the deep, dirty secrets, but yet are not spilling it. That's right. Like I would want to. Right? I'm like, oh, you've seen some things. Yeah. Okay. So we met at Premier because you are my poker.
Yes, you are one of my patients, and it has been so fun.
It's been a long time. But I don't know how many years it's been.
Oh, I don't know exactly. I've been at Premier 19 years.
Okay, but I met you before you had a baby.
So my baby's 8.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, probably 10 years.
Probably
I feel
solid
like
10.
it's close.
19 years is a long time at one place.
It's an amazing place. That's all I can say.
But yeah, kudos to you because there's so much hippity hop these days. And in the past 5 to 10 years, there has been a lot.
Definitely.
So that's awesome. So you were in the original location.
I was in the original, basically came on in the first 2 years of Premier.
Like off 28, right? Is that the
Yes, off 28.
Okay.
Yes. And Dr. Phillips and I actually worked together prior to Premier.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So I did a part-time job in college at another dermatology office that she joined originally.
Okay.
For a short stint. And actually we worked there together, and I worked kind of like a nursing aide and got to work with her. And then I went off to PA school. Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law actually came in and saw her and told her I had graduated, and she said, oh, she should give me a call. And I did. Mm-hmm. And 19 years later, here I am.
History.
Yes.
Okay, well, PA school. So that means you're super smart.
Well, that's very sweet.
It does. It does.
I've worked very hard for it. Yes, I would say that. That's
absolutely.
Hard.
It's not without not tons and tons and tons of work. And I only know that I don't know. This little girl I babysat in Tulsa 100 years ago, she went on to become a PA. She's now the godmother of my 14-year-old tomorrow. So, like, I watched her grow and develop. And at one point, she was like, I was like, hey, get in the front seat. She was an 8-year-old. And she was like, I can't sit in the front seat. 8-year-olds can't sit in the front seat. So I was like, oh, we are not the same. That's what I quickly learned. And then she went on to become a PA in Oklahoma. And I'm like, I watched all this time and study. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So PA school, I kind of lucked into it. That's what I always say. I really did.
Nobody lucks into PA school.
I did, because PA schools back then didn't really exist in Arkansas. Well, they didn't exist. Harding came on very quickly, but I went to PA school in Springfield. And
Missouri.
Yes, Springfield, Missouri. And the reason I went was my sister-in-law actually worked with a PA, and she was like, have you ever heard of them? I said, no. I was at a junior in college, wasn't sure where my biology degree was going to lead me.
Were we on the nursing track?
Not
just
really.
Biology
just kind of the science track. Probably originally had a short stint of thinking I might go to medical school, and then quickly sat in class with other people and thought, not going to medical school.
Why? Were they not your people?
No, they were so much smarter than
next level.
Next level, for sure.
But you don't sell yourself short.
No, but that's it. And so I just honestly knew that probably wasn't something I was going to truly commit to. And so I was considering going back to nursing school to do nurse practitioner. And then heard about PAs and started looking at it. And with all my work experience at the dermatology office, I really had kind of all the things in place to apply. And so I did. And lucky enough.
Because it's highly competitive
today it is way more competitive. When I was going, it was competitive, but not to the, it's ranked in the top 10 careers.
Yes.
Every year now.
Yes.
And so for that reason, makes it very competitive. So I feel very fortunate that I was led in that path 19 years ago and
dermatology,
or 20 years ago.
From what I have heard,
It's
in the payer. Yes. And you're just like, oh, I just started out. I
Yeah.
just like happened to get laid into PA and I'm at a dermatologist office. So yay me.
Yeah, I really did. I tell Darsh Clifton all the time, I'm just thankful to be a part of your world because it is so hard to get into dermatology.
So hard.
Yes. So to have started there and really have grown as a PA there has been an amazing journey and experience. And
Because dermatology is a whole nother level. Like, at poking my face, you could paralyze me. I would assume an eyeball could fall out.
none of those things.
But I'm like, you're going
But yes,
not
we take it
even very
serious.
far into the skin, right? It's very, I mean, I feel like you're going to my brain, but that's just because I'm overly dramatic, right?
I mean,
know this
your
about
pain tolerance,
It's clearly low.
I wouldn't say it's on the high.
Right. No. You and multiple people. But also I do feel like I'm real tough, but I'm a giant baby when I come into you. But I mean, you all are going barely into the skin. I mean, I know y'all have fancy little names for your layers and whatnot. And I'm like, that takes extreme artistic precision.
We take it very seriously. Yes, we want every face is very different, and you want that treatment to be customized to that face, and the results that we're looking for. So
amazing.
I've had lots and lots and lots of practice over these years, lots and lots of trainings. Just to speak to that, as injectors at Premier, we have 65 years of experience.
That's bananas.
I know, isn't that bananas?
Yes.
So you won't hear that in
No.
in many places, and for sure not in Northwest Arkansas.
No.
But yeah, so I work with an amazing team. I mean, Dr. Clifton leads that team, but those around us, I mean, we work together so well.
There's like no turnover. Like,
yeah,
the same person comes and gets me out of the room, out of the waiting room. It's
Yes.
always the super cute
Jordan.
Yes, thank you, with the adorable blonde hair. She's just the sweetest
She's
thing.
the best. Yes.
And I'm like, oh, she's like, how are you doing? I'm like, ready, let's go. Fill me up. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's the key is, as we're a family, and like I said, a team that really works well together, and we want the patient to feel like the entire team is part of their care.
And cautious.
And cautious.
You're not just filling people up to fill them up, because I walk in and I'm like, oh, I think we need to do this. You're like, but we don't.
Yes, I'm real good at telling people no. If I don't,
that skill.
if I don't agree with what they think they need done, if I think it's too much, or I feel like it's not going to give the results that we want, and that's what you want in your injector. You want to trust them,
100%.
and I appreciate you trusting me.
I
with
do.
your
I
patients.
trust you with everything. I would send every human I know to
Well,
you.
I tell people all the time, the best compliment is when I get that friendship referral or that one-on-one. That means everything.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we're aiming for, at Premier, is to make people feel like, they're the most important thing at that moment, and that we're taking the best care of them.
That's absolutely true.
So-
I feel like I'm your only patient when I
Good.
walk in there.
Good.
Yes.
We're doing our job.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, I don't.
You see lots of weird things.
But no, there's not. Dermatologist kind of is that. I mean, there's a lot of strange things, between the rashes and what everybody sees on TV on Double Popper. I mean, you
How
can
about last
imagine.
week? What'd you see? What just
So I don't do as much medical anymore. So I am mainly on the cosmetic side. I would say 95% at this point, where I am truly just doing injectables.
kind of like Vago. You're like being
I don't know. I wish I was like Van Gogh, but I love what I do. I mean, I really do. And when you're injecting someone, every face is new. And I always say that's what keeps it exciting is, every face is a new face.
Yeah, it's a new campus.
Yes. And so I just want that to be the best face that it can be for them. Like, I want them to feel like they look less tired, rested, brighter, whatever it is. Because none of us want to age.
No,
I mean, no,
I
like
was
the process.
totally fake.
Oh, 100%. We joke that, we may be in the hospital, but the Botox is coming in.
And it's going I'm still going to work a man
pounds. So,
That is the saddest part about walking into Premier is I feel like a Sharpay. And I'm like, just Make me not like a Sharpay walking out. Y'all look like China dolls.
Hey.
And I look like a Sharpay walking out.
And those sprinkles are just they're not anybody's favorite thing.
No.
So, but yeah, we want everybody to just get that refreshed look.
Well, let's talk about that. Like injection. Okay, so I butchered it on my notes page. Like injections and treatments and trends and fillers versus toxins.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that correct?
Yes. Okay, so to your Sharpay point. You're
I'm Jerry. Just add some letters.
So to the Sharpay point.
Okay.
That's where your Botox plays.
And that's up here?
It's
or all over?
It can be all over. Okay. Really, at this point.
Because the rumor was, I feel like 100 years ago, it was like, no, you can't go below here because you're going to be paralyzed.
And that's the thing, is that there's always the on-label version, which is what the brands can really speak to. And then there's the off-label version, which is where we use, fillers or toxins in places that maybe the FDA approval doesn't accurately include.
Fair.
But so now I feel like we are using Botox really from the forehead all the way down to the neck. And
Stop. People
so
put Botox.
Oh, I have a ton of Botox in my neck.
To like take this. You have Botox in your neck? Did you just say that?
Yes, because I was not blessed with a very long neck. It's a very short neck.
Okay.
And so one thing that Botox, just a little kind of side note, is that it can actually help lengthen that neck. Because as we age and the world of technology and phones in front of us and us looking down all the time.
Okay.
Those little platysmal bands, and they're really not little, but platysmal bands can kind of get shorter and shorter. Mm-hmm. And so when we relax some of that, we allow a little lengthening. It's called the Nefertiti effect. And so you put Botox along that jawline and you get a slight lift. It can also help to minimize the look of them. Sometimes you'll see these sharp bands on women as we age.
Whatever those words were.
Yes.
Said.
And so because of the fat loss and the thinning in the skin, sometimes those bands get more pronounced. Okay. So Botox can be a great way kind of minimize the look of those. So Botox, we talk a lot about expression lines like frown lines,
right,
crow's feet or smile lines, and those things are well taken care of with Botox. The
smile lines, is that out here or right here?
Like right here. So around your eyes.
Here. Okay.
When I say smile lines, around your eyes.
Okay.
And we can help also kind of lift the brow with this. So your Botox is really working on movement. So,
Gotcha.
So you're going to reduce some movement to lessen some lines.
Okay.
When we talk about fillers, what we're trying to do is give back the cushion or the support.
Okay.
Because you really, as we age, lose a lot of that cushion and support, whether it's in fat loss or bone loss. We talk about bone recession, so unfortunately our skull kind of shrinks a little bit.
It does?
It does. Our bone gets thinner. And so with that...
Is that separate from like an osteoporosis type?
Yes, very separate. Okay. Very just natural aging.
Oh.
And so as that happens, you start to see more shadows, more hollowing around the eyes. Sometimes we see these shadows.
I have that.
In these around our mouth, where we feel like we have those folds and what many people refer to as marionette lines, which is on the lower part of the face.
Oh, okay.
Which make us look sad. Mm-hmm. So less shadows and more light reflection give us a brighter, more useful look.
But you must have some like amazing fillers. No, that's not. Yes, that is
fillers.
Fillers these days because you have not filled me.
Yes.
In forever. So even though I've asked for it, you're like, you don't.
A lot of times you get a little remodeling with those fillers, meaning you place that filler underneath the skin and your body will actually kind of build back around it in some ways and create some support that maybe it didn't have before. So even as the filler may be absorbed over, a time of sometimes, 6 months, sometimes a year, then your body has built back itself in place of it slightly. Now, eventually you'll need it again. I think today's world of fillers is that we don't tend to treat the same area every time. That's not, you used to, we may come in and we would just treat.
Oh, would that be like the, what's the movie with the lips and Goldie Hawn? First Wives Club.
Fill them up. Yes. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. Today's world of fillers, we are really looking at the face and giving support back where it's needed, whether that be cheeks, whether that be jawline, chins. Jawlines and chins are really a focus right now.
We want more of a chin?
We want we want to make sure that we keep the projection of the chin, and yes, the more of the chin.
You do poke me down here, but I don't know. I think you poke me with
there's some Botox there too. This down in the lower face, you've got a couple of things happening. Back to the bone, kind of recessing. That chin recesses over time. And so when we lose that, you lose the sculpting that you have on that jawline. And in photos, and the world of photos are so prominent right now, that, I mean, people just don't like how they look. There's the first thing, like, oh, I see my double chin, or I see my jowls, and those things.
What's a jowl?
This jowl is your basically a little fat pocket that kind of sits on either side of the chin that we start to see due to some shifting in fat pads also as we age.
Oh, those things move.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on in our faces as we age, and so as an injector, what we're trying to do is put things back in place or in support that can create a more youthful look. So jawlines are a big deal because you really can create a youthful look by just giving back that structure. So I think cheeks, we talk, I mean, there's all these celebrities we've watched over the years morph into something that we maybe don't like the look of.
Right.
And people always ask me, well, what filler? It's probably a combination of filler and maybe some plastic surgery and maybe some plastic implants. Who knows? But they're not a natural look.
Right.
Main thing I tell my patients is I want you to look like you. I don't want to change
your thing.
Who you are. We want to just lessen things that bother you. And that is not only just fillers and neurotoxins. It's also in resurfacing because
oh yeah, you've sold me a bunch of things to put on my face.
Oh, I mean, your skincare is key. I mean, you may not have a line and you may not have a shadow, but if you have a bunch of age spots or sunspots or uneven tone to your skin, you're still not going to be happy with it.
Right.
So that's another thing at Premier that we love is we have all the things that you need.
All the things.
To address those things, whether that's in,
some
laser
pads.
Yes, or at-home skincare. And then, even big lasers that, for a lot of people, if they're starting later, young people now are in this game early.
Oh, right, because of TikTok.
Yes, and they're starting Botox in their 20s. Well,
is that good?
It is good.
Okay.
It is absolutely preventative.
Okay.
But there's never too late, is what I tell people.
Gotcha.
Like, if you haven't started, it's the things that they do
great.
that can definitely improve. And, that's something that, there's not a set standard. You shouldn't start Botox at 25. That's not the answer.
Gotcha.
You should start when you're starting to see etched lines or changes where you're feeling like you have a heavier brow than you used to.
Oh, does that just happen to everybody?
It does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody gets it. It's, nobody is not aging.
Okay, fair.
So it's, our lifestyle definitely plays a part in it. How much sun you've had, how much, your day-to-day diet, exercise, those things are going to play into it. But everybody's aging some. So we just want to slow that down and do that in the best way. So for a lot of people, it's Botox early on just to prevent some 11s that they may see in their family.
11s?
That's what they
Is that what you just found? That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, so I think every journey's different.
Okay.
And everybody starts at a different state. So
I do love that. And y'all don't judge.
Yeah. No.
Because I'm a sun lover.
I know. We're going to say
it's very painful. But I just want to be as transparent and honest as possible. But I'm wearing the sunscreen. But I also am like, y'all can go sit over there in the stands. I'm going to go sit in the sun.
Yes.
Because I'm like, A, I'm cold. And B, I just love.
But you're wearing your sunscreen.
I am wearing my sunscreen.
Okay. And that's key.
Yeah.
I think.
And I did take a hat with me on vacation.
And, that we want people to live. That's, as dermatologists, we don't expect you to.
Yeah, you never shame me.
Yeah, ever. But we do want you to do your skin checks too.
Yes.
So,
this will air in May, even though we're recording early. Sorry, everybody, cat's out of the bag. May is what's the proper term? Skin Cancer Awareness Month? Okay, yes.
Yes.
And so I feel like y'all have done free skin checkups every May.
So we haven't passed. We're a little busy right now to where we can't offer those as often as we'd like to.
But schedule with your normal
Schedule with your normal appointment, whether that's and then just yearly. That's
Right.
That's the key.
And I will throw myself under the bus. I just did my first one a year ago, and it was fine.
Yes.
And I think we removed something because I wanted it removed. I was like, take that off. It serves no purpose.
Yeah.
And then I didn't think anything of it. And then so you called me like a week or two later. You're like, oh, it's fine. I was like, didn't think it wasn't. And it did.
But we called anyway.
Didn't even dawn on me that we were checking it. But you all went through the extra steps that never even occurred to me. I'm like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm with the right people.
That's right. And a skin check is easy. I mean, I know it's scary to a lot of people. Nobody likes the idea of having to come into any clinic and, get in a gown.
It's going to save lives.
It is. And we're looking at each individual lesion, and we are not looking at, your whole body. We're looking at your whole body, but just in terms of your skin.
Yes.
So we want you to feel comfortable. The process is pretty simple. You basically check in, get your history on your sun, exposure, your family skin cancer history. And then we put you in a gown and we go, little areas at a time and look at lesions and analyze them and decide if there's anything worrisome. If so, can be removed usually that day. And we have a dermatopathologist in office who is a board-certified trained pathologist in just skin. So she is looking at those lesions.
She's in-house.
And she's in-house, Dr. Battle. She's
That's amazing.
Yes, and that's on our dermatology side. I mean,
Is she so busy?
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah, our dermatology side is just as amazing as our aesthetic side because we have, board-certified, double board-certified dermatologists at
I love the other side of the office.
And then, like I said, dermatopathologist in the house along with two Mohs surgeons if we have
this Mohs thing is really a big deal.
Yes.
Right.
So it's a specialized procedure for skin cancer where we can remove small pieces at a time, have them looked at immediately, and decided more tissue needs to be removed. So
all under anesthetic, like right there.
Yes.
And crazy.
The great thing about the procedures that we typically do in the office, all are done under just a local anesthesia, just meaning a little shot of numbing medicine when it comes to those dermatology procedures. So now on the aesthetic side, we also have all the things to make
you comfortable. All the things to make people comfortable.
If people are fearful of any procedure, we always try to make people comfortable.
Which you do.
We try real hard.
I know. Give me a dental block to do my lips.
Absolutely.
You don't like to do it.
But
because you want it to be more natural, right?
Yeah, it just
like you said, you're like, just is better, but I will do it and it will still be perfect.
And that's the thing. Yeah, we just do what's best for the patient.
Yeah,
and
you do.
So I think it's all good. And I mean, lips. Yeah, your lips look great too.
Because thanks to you, they're essentially your lips. I give you all the credit for all the lips.
Well, I appreciate the credit. Thank you.
So yeah. Okay, so we talked about skin checks. Those are good. Okay. Let's talk about, because of Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and we have had a couple prominent people pass away in Northwest Arkansas in the past few years from skin cancer. And those, and I do believe, I could be making this up, I don't think I am, that my grandmother had something removed and had skin cancer, was treated for it. I mean, it is dangerous. It doesn't.
Yes.
And I'm from the generation, and I'm older than you, of like the tanning beds.
I laid in that tanning bed.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And I had your little heart.
Oh, yeah. All your things.
Yes. And so I'm like, it does make me fearful. And you have checked me, and we have watched this one mole for 100 years. But it's like, it may just be, I don't know, like an ant, but you got to take out.
That's exactly. So you have your skin cancers, there's different types, and not to get into the specifics of the types, but some are very surface-based, and so they grow pretty much on your upper side of your skin. But your melanomas, which is the more fearful skin cancer, is one that can go deep. And so
deep down or deep?
Deep down and spread.
Okay.
And so we we want to catch those skin cancers
It
at
seems
their
wild to
earliest
die, to pass away
from something that's just on the surface.
Yes.
So, what I want people to know is that if you've got this spot and it just keeps catching your attention, like you just keep looking at it, or you get stopped by people and they say, have you had that looked at? Get it looked at. I mean, it's so easy to take a spot off and have it tested. There is no reason for it to just let something grow, because the thing about a melanoma, many times it's not painful. It's not sore.
But that's so wild.
Yeah. I mean, they don't always just put big flashing lights next to them saying, I'm a skin cancer.
Hello.
Yes. So that's what skin checks do, is they give us that yearly look over that can hopefully find something new or something changing very early on.
Right. I do love them. It was, I was fearful of my skin check, even though it's not painful.
Yeah, everybody's fearful of it. And I just want people to know, if that's what's holding you back is just the fear of the visit itself, don't be. We will do our best to keep you comfortable and be as modest as we need to be, all those things. Because we can do a little section at a time.
It's easy. It took less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
Not to say that you weren't like thoroughly checking. You were.
Yes.
But I'm like, it didn't take very long at all for me.
And I think, that we have some great testimonies even on our website and things that talk from, or speaking from people who have had skin cancer and just how important it is. So if you need just some reassurance or, kind of what that looks like, go to our website, premierderm.net, and you can look at all those things along with, before and afters and lots of different things.
Absolutely.
It's a great resource.
It is a good resource.
Yes.
Okay. Open house.
Okay. Yes. Open house.
Open house happens in April. Happened.
Yes.
Because this is coming out in May, so I apologize. But talk about the success of those. I feel like the first one was in Bentonville.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It was on 28th Street. I'll never forget it.
Okay.
I feel like it was very nerve-wracking.
Where did it come from? Where did the idea come from?
Missy Clifton. All the great ideas at Premier Dermatology come from Missy Clifton.
Gotcha.
So, but she had this vision of a way for it to be a customer appreciation day, along with an informational,
I love the informational
bomb on
Yes,
table.
it
Giving
is.
them the ability to learn about everything that Premier offers. And just learn about procedures and get ideas without feeling that pressure of coming in for a visit.
Right, because then you feel like I got to cave and do it.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't.
But if you could watch somebody get injected right there in the waiting room or in a, because speak to that. Yes, I'm interrupting.
That's the neat thing about that day. One, we're very excited about it. I think we want people to know that it's a day that we love.
The vibe is amazing.
Yes, we love getting to just talk to our patients and their friends if they bring them, and let them know what options they have, and really have the reps there from different companies, and
Which is a wild part too.
Yes.
Like this person is selling this machine, but they are way knowledgeable in it. And so they're in there talking about the procedure.
Absolutely. And we, all of our team, so knowledgeable. And it's a way for you to get all of your information. I mean, and, downtime to what to expect, to cost, all those things. And that's part of the customer appreciation. It's a day where we discount our aesthetic procedures for the patient and allow them to take part in those discounts, rather than having to wait on a special to come or, everybody has that opportunity to, take and gain from the discounts that day.
Right.
So I always say it's gift carding yourself your next procedure.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
So you're just basically putting money on your account. And as you use that money, you receive those discounts that were offered that day.
Okay.
But more than anything, it's fun. We have food, we have drinks, we have, like I said, all the knowledge. Some hands-on treatments happening that day.
Yeah, demos.
Demos for sure. And so I think it's just a great, fun day for all of us.
It is a good day. Is it a long day?
It is a long day.
Yeah, but in the best way.
In the best way. I always joke. I mean, I tend to look up and it's 3:00 and I've not, been to the restaurant or eaten anything. but I don't even feel like tired or worried.
Oh, that's fun.
It's good.
So this one, the one that takes place in April, is in Fayetteville.
Fayetteville. And so we used to only have one a year. This having 2 a year is really nice. So Fayetteville is our spring open house, and then Bentonville is our fall open house. Both are wonderful events. It's just a day to really gather up your friends and come just enjoy.
So how many years? So if you've been at Premier for 19 years, is the open house 19?
20.
It's 20 years old.
Well, the open house I think is 19 because I
Okay.
think there's 1 year where we didn't. But it's a crazy.
And you all still found a way to be creative, pivot, and do it during COVID.
Yes,
Right?
We still did it.
Yes.
All virtual.
Uh-huh.
That's Sarah Fast and Leanne Mullins get all the
one of my
credit.
favorites.
I know they get all the credit, and
And y'all are from the same hometown.
we are from the
You
same
sound like
hometown.
like really tight hair or some hat.
I know we do.
You do.
Yeah.
Y'all travel.
We do. We just come in groups.
Yes. Like, where are they from?
I know our know.
Yes.
But no, it's they put such a good event together. There are giveaways that are amazing. I think the last one was something like $30,000 worth of giveaways. So, and they make it so seamless and fun for everyone. So, including us. So,
Right.
I appreciate them so much.
It's the giveaway is like a pay it forward. It's not just to like win.
Yeah.
I feel like you're truly paying it forward.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get that treatment that maybe they didn't
Exactly.
have funds for or didn't have this, weren't going to spend it on themselves.
Right.
And so that's amazing.
And so with all the treatments that you do, all the injections, all the fillers, what is the latest trend?
Oh, for sure right now, I would say the latest trend is jawline.
Oh, what we were talking about.
Yes, I think that is that really focusing on what you can do for that jawline, how it can improve the neck by improving the jawline. I think we're just
That's the
I think some of that is the trend of how long fillers have been around.
Okay.
We've started out, like I said, just treating these nasolabial folds and marionettes where we're just filling them up. Then it moved to more cheeks and we started giving that support. And I think you're starting to see as those things have been held and people have kept those results, we're now focused on where does the jawline and fit in and how much does it improve the overall appearance of the face.
Never have I thought that my jaw is the next trend.
I know, but it's a deal.
That's crazy. Okay, I do have one last question, kind of. It just popped into my head. Do you all treat migraines with Botox? Does that happen in your office?
So we can treat them. I would not say we treat them the same way if you go to the neurologist and have them treated.
Mm-hmm.
I do have patients that their migraines are improved by the Botox that we do.
Okay, so I'm a migraine sufferer.
Yes.
And having gone to you for years, when I finally got into a neurologist, I was like, hey, can you just write me a script for some more Botox? Yeah. I'm already getting it. I know what it feels like. Let's do this. And he was like, slow your roll. If you're already getting it, that's clearly not for you. Let's pivot to this injection instead. And it's fine. He's, I'm very few migraines, and now I have this Meredith Hanks over at Mercy Hospital, who I absolutely love, who handles all my migraines.
Yes.
But talk to me about that situation in your office.
So there's a couple of ways that it sometimes with our injections that we're doing cosmetically can help. Definitely these frown lines. There's a lot of tension that's held when we're
So it's still on the face.
So typically
in my head, y'all, but I have no idea.
Yeah. So in true migraine injections, they're going to treat those frown lines, but then the rest of their Botox is going to be focused around the scalp itself.
Okay.
Even the base of the neck, sometimes into around the shoulders areas. Those are the things that they're going to treat that we don't necessarily. Okay. Now I have a few that I do specifically treat certain places because we know their tension from their migraines is sort of drift.
It's like down here.
Yes. So
okay.
The difference is really insurance coverage. You're in a dermatology office, we're not going to be able to get insurance coverage for migraine Botox, but we definitely can help it. The other place that I do a lot of Botox for tension and a lot of grinding and teeth.
Okay.
So I treat a lot of the masseter muscle, which is your muscle that is used
Okay.
for grinding and holding that clenching in the mouth. And so a lot of people, their migraines or headaches, I should say, can come from those too. They wake up in the morning and they can feel that tension because they've been grinding overnight. Not to mention the wear and tear on their teeth.
For sure.
From that. So a lot of times we're helping it out by relaxing or minimizing the strength of that muscle.
Okay.
And over time can eventually create an atrophy or a thinning of that muscle and kind of change the habits. I mean, so people, we all have some tension and we hold stress in different ways. And so sometimes helping those muscles relax can really help the overall.
Where's the craziest place you've placed Botox? Do you have like a crazy story?
I'd say the one that people probably haven't heard of or probably seen much of is you can place Botox on the upper eyelid, right along the lash line.
No kidding?
Yes. And you can get a slight lift in the lid. So if you have somewhat of what most people would call a lazy eye, you can correct that by actually placing a little bit of Botox and relaxing that muscle. So that's kind of a cool spot. That is.
Do you learn that in school or do you just learn those things over time? Training.
We do a lot of training as a group. Go to a lot of meetings where you've got, the real gurus,
right,
as you would call them,
okay,
leading those meetings and really learning. And really, Dr. Clifton's one of those gurus. She's speaking at many of these events. And so she may go and then she may bring us back the knowledge to do something different. But yes, it is an evolving industry that is so fun to be a part of.
Every day's a new day.
Every day's a new day. Wow. Yeah. So it's really cool.
Do you love getting brand new patients in?
Love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Versus, not that you don't love your return.
No,
we are best friends.
Yes.
But like a new fresh face.
I love the new fresh face just because there's such an energy of excitement of starting kind of the journey and doing it all. And so that's why I think open house is so fun. There's a lot of new.
Do you have had a new people like post? So you'll be in the thick of it right now when this airs, right? Of new people.
Yes. And but they just, it's nice to be able to just talk through their concerns and really get to make them feel better about
That's how I started. This is all coming back to me. I went to an open house.
Was this how it all started? Okay, good.
Yes. And I ended up in a room with Missy and she's like, you need 28, whatever that meant. And of course I couldn't get into her. And they're like, we're going to put you with Carrot. And I was like, okay, great. And I hadn't met you. It's all coming back to me.
There's
who cares about the HIPAA. Yeah. Yes, I got you. That's how I got you. Open house is so great.
But yes, it's fun. And, open house, it's the consults, all complimentary. So, and our consults in general are complimentary.
Right.
So we want people, if they just want to come in and talk, feel comfortable, make an appointment and sit down with the provider and kind of just weigh your options. I think that's what people need. And I have people who sit in my chair and they don't want to do any more than just up their skincare game. And that's great.
Totally fine too.
Yeah.
I've been to see you for that.
Yeah. It does not all have to be injections. There's a place for everyone. And we just want to help them through it.
Well, I love you all. And I'm so appreciative that
we love you.
I was diagnosed with the 28, whatever that is, units. And I got put with you. And now you can't get rid of me. And I'm very thankful you're my person. No, you can't. It's not an option. So my goal is to die like Barbie.
That's right. I told you.
Minus the blonde hair. That's my goal. And no, you're my person. And
I'm happy to be.
I am like a complete freakazoid. I have lots of weird things. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But you calm me.
Good.
And just walk me through all of it. And I'm like, hey, I think we need to fill it up. And you're like, but we don't.
Yes.
So I settle because I'm like, fake, which is so bad. But I'm like, it's not.
It's not. It's,
thank you.
You're welcome. And I appreciate it.
So everybody should come to Premiere and find their person. I might share Carrot with you. That's highly debatable. I don't know. But I love you. Thank you for coming in. Premier is amazing. 19 years. It's really 20, but you've been there.
Yes, I've been there 19, so
Wild.
yes. But thank you for having me.
I'm
and
so excited.
also just one of the things too, podcast, Dr. Clifton has
Yes.
All Things Skin, if you look it up. And there's some great information on those podcasts too, aesthetically and for dermatology. So
Oh, yes. And I use both sides. So both sides of
Yes.
the office are fantastic. So,
Yeah.
yes, go listen to Missy's podcast, All Things Skin. And Kara, again, thank you so much. I appreciate you a ton.
thank you.
And just thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you. And we are always trying to inspire a culture of giving. Thank you.